my name is Lori, otherwise known as My Cat Pearl on Instagram and Ravelry. I'm coming to you today from Columbus, Ohio, well, right outside of where I live with my cat, not Pearl, my cat Wellington, and my mom. We live in a little suburb. Actually, most people live in a suburb. Not a whole lot of people live in downtown Columbus, although they are trying to change that. This would be take 2. The lighting is really weird this morning, but I'm not sure if it's like the color shirt I'm wearing. I see a little weird eyeball shadowing, but sorry, can't be helped. Today's Sunday, March 27th, Easter here. Happy Easter for those who celebrate. I thought it had been 2 weeks, but somehow time got away from me. Mainly, I think because I was doing my part-time job the first 3 weeks in March was high school state championships for boys and girls basketball and wrestling. So I worked, all weekend. And then the OSU boys basketball team had a couple of the national invitational tournament at the shop. So just a little busy. So what's going on in Ohio? Not a whole lot. Working, laundry, spring is here. I feel it. I am ready. I really want to buy outside plants, but it's too early in Ohio. Really, we need to wait till May. I may push it. I usually push it. Got to clean up the back deck, get the grill ready. I've just been all about the spring vegetables. I'm ready. I'm ready for my bike. I'm ready to get out and do life. Planning on a trip that I'm going on in April with my cousins and my 2 best friends. We are going to Punta Cana, or as my mom likes to call it, Punta Latana. I'm not really sure where that came from, but we let it slide. We're going to an all-inclusive resort, spend a week on the beach. Probably will bring a little knitting, but mostly reading, catching up on some books I've been wanting to read. Usually, I listen to a lot of books on audio when I'm working or knitting or doing something that I need my hands and face to finish or work on. But I do enjoy reading books as well, and I kind of miss the book or my iPad or whatever. But I did finish a new book. J.R. Ward, she's one of my favorite authors. Now, normally, the series that I know her for are vampire novels, and that series I absolutely adore, but she started a new one. It's called The Bourbon Kings. If you were a fan in the 80s of nighttime soap opera, Dynasty, Knots Landing, Dallas, it's very similar to that. Love the drama, rich people and their crazy lives, basically. It's what it boils down to. Takes place in Kentucky. They're bourbon producers, and it kind of just goes through their life, of the family. Now, true to her writing style, the first book introduces tons of characters. So really, I read the first book twice, I'm not going to lie, or listen to it twice, because I miss a lot. I'm getting kind of tied up in the plot. I'm like, who's that? Who's this? But then moving forward, it's generally the same set of characters throughout the book. So she doesn't introduce a whole, or it hasn't in the past. I'm not sure. This is the first book in this series. And it's also the first book that really didn't tie anything up. A couple people died, but there wasn't a whole lot of, in the vampire books, you'll have a set of characters, and it takes them through some situation, start to finish. And then there's other characters involved. She brings in another plot. Usually that's going to be the next book. This one was a little different. It's kind of intriguing. The next one won't be out until July, so I have a lot to wait, but it's okay. So that's what I was reading. I'm going to be kind of weak and have 4 books now lined up. It's not going to happen. 2 books I'll bring. One will definitely get read, probably on the flight there. It's an almost 6-hour flight. And then one usually on the beach I'll read. So I'll be good with that. So there's what I've been reading. Kind of looking for some new series. I do like series. And the longer the series, the better. I seem to get not depressed, but really sad when a series ends. So I don't like to read. I really don't enjoy standalone books. Although I will read them, I just don't enjoy them as much as a series, knowing there's more coming. Trilogies are good. The book I'm bringing is the last in a 5-book series, which is kind of cool. It was supposed to be a 3-book, and then she extended it to 5, which made me very happy. So we'll see. Weather's been up and down. One day it was 30 and snowing, the next day it was 70. I mean, this has just been the craziest. El Nino, I think they were claiming it on. I don't know, just Ohio weather, if you ask me. We're having coffee this morning with the Queen from my trip to London. I think this was part of her Jubilee, Diamond Jubilee. 60 years on the throne. Some little cheesy tourist stop, but I was like, I really wanted a bobblehead. I know that's bizarre and it's probably blasphemous if you're from England, I'm sorry, or the UK, or a country that's ruled by the Queen, but I really wanted a Queen bobblehead, and I couldn't find one, probably because they would be like hung or something, I don't know, but the next best thing was a mug. And I don't even mean it in a bad way. I love the Queen. I actually bought a couple books while I was there. It's fascinating. The whole royal family fascinates me. And we were actually there during her Trooping the Colors, which is a birthday celebration. So we actually saw the Queen and the whole royal family on the balcony with the flyover. My niece and I stood at Buckingham Palace. So we actually missed the parade, not knowing, honestly, where to stand. We had never been before. And there's not a whole lot of, hey, stand here on the internet. So we kind of just went and stood across from Buckingham Palace. It was very fascinating. I mean, it was just very interesting. And I eat all that up. I love it. It's hazelnut coffee. I switch back and forth. I'm a tea, coffee, hot liquid drinker. I will drink tea all summer at work, hot tea, because they keep the air conditioner on so cold. I like freeze it up all summer. So, what else is going on in my life? I mean, there's not a whole lot. I started and ended my fundraisers at work. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that I post pictures every Friday. I do a bake sale. Well, I did a bake sale. I would alternate between 8 dozen cupcakes, generally 4 different flavors, some type of buttercream, usually vanilla, just because it's easier to make enough for 8 dozen cupcakes. But sometimes I'd mix it up. And then on the other week, I'd make brookies, which is chocolate brownie, and then you sink a chocolate chip cookie into the middle and bake it up together. It's in a muffin paper, but it's not really a cupcake or a muffin, it's a cookie. People love them. I mean, I would sell 8 dozen cupcakes. I get there at 7:30 on my Fridays, and they would be gone by 10 o'clock. I had people sending me messages, hold 10 for me, my department wants a dozen, blah, blah. So honestly, I would be able to raise my $1,500 between my work's contribution, they would match me, and my cupcakes, and maybe, some family and friends who are very generous and want to donate to my ride. But, I feel bad asking people every year to donate for this, and being able to do it myself was a big deal. Well, because we have a contract with our cafeteria worker company, we're not allowed to have food-based fundraisers anymore. No bake sales. We used to bring in, or my team would bring in pizza from outside companies. We would sell them for lunch, $5 or $6. You get a couple slices of pizza, a bag of chips, a drink, and a cookie. Super cheap, super yummy, and people loved it. So we're in a not so nice neighborhood, and there's not, other than fast food, there's not really a lot of options. You have the cafeteria, which is uber expensive. You can pack your lunch, or on those certain days of the month throughout the summer, we would offer up an alternative. So they've shut us down. No, unless the cafeteria gets a profit, we don't get to have it. But I'm like, it's kind of bumming me out, because that's, first of all, we're raising money for cancer here. I'm not flossing my cat with the money. I'm not buying a new house, paying off my car. It's all going to cancer. But we've been shut down, so we'll figure it out. So my Thursday nights are now free. Yay. But I also have to now figure out some alternatives to fundraising. But again, I'll work it out. So Easter is upon us. And I don't know if I've talked to you since, but I did have craft day. We had a tea party and craft with my little cousin. She's 9, and she brought a friend and her mom, my niece Sarah, who's not 9, she's 25. And we had a tea party. I made tea sandwiches. We had some fun punch. I kept it on the healthier side, so we had veggie cups and fruit cups. And I gave them some candy to take home as their Easter gift, but we didn't eat a lot of sweets. I didn't have a lot of baked sweets. You know, none of us really need it. We're all trying to eat healthier. So that's where it was. But we did some crafting projects. One of the projects that we did involved a cardboard. And I have one. It's way across the room, so I'm not going to bother getting it. But a cardboard. They had bunnies, butterflies, and eggs. I mean, they were decent size, 3D. And we painted those. The girls loved it. I got those in the dollar bin at Target. Like $3 each. But they were super fun. You can hang them or they can stand on their own. We painted those, and then we made the cutest pom-pom animals. And this is actually yarn related, except for I will tell you I did not use my good yarn. I went to Joann and bought some Caron. Let me see this it now. Caron Super Soft, Silky Soft, something soft. I don't even know. And we made this is a bunny. Come on, bunny back. This is my little friend. I made this one quickly this morning. The one I actually made that day, I used pink and gray yarn. Little pink ears and all that. But I wanted to show you. Oh, ears are all crooked today. He'll be okay. He's twitching. And I'll put him in on my table this morning. But I used these clover. And this is what 2 sizes he was made out of. Body and head. And what these are pom-pom makers. Clover makes them. They come, I believe, in 2 packs. Or that's how I bought them. You know, big packaging changes. But you open them up. I may have shown these before when I was doing Christmas stuff. But you open them up. I hold the yarn right here. You wrap around these 2 together until the center is full. I mean, you want plump. You close it. Turn it around. Do the other side. Close it. And you've got a couple long strings, not an issue. You cut from this side to this side, and there's your, you know, when they're together like that, that's where your scissors go. So it's a nice handy guide. Let's see. Yeah. So you just follow your scissors right around there, and then on this side. And before you do anything else, I double my yarn. You don't have to. Pull it through. It snaps when it hits the middle, and you tie it off right down the center of where the scissors. Where it would actually, you'll see it'll separate, but you want your thread down through here, yarn, and you want it totally tight. And then you open it up, and it frees your little pom-pom, and then you separate it, and it comes off. And then you have some random strings. You just need to trim it up. But the 2 strings that you used to tie it through the middle, you tie these together. And if you notice the shape, it's actually could be a snowman too, minus the tail. But you can do 3 different sizes. There's a bigger one, so you can do 3 sizes and make a snowman. You could do a 2-ball snowman, put a little hat on it. They're super cute. The kids, we decided they were going to make their pets. So one of the little girls made her cat, and our little friend of mine, Addison, and Addie made her dogs. She has 2 German Shepherds. And then we gave them eyes and a nose. And you could do whiskers. I didn't have really materials. And then instead of making pom-poms, I just bought some white pom-poms for the tail. And it's just totally adorable. I just think they're super sweet and fun to make. The yarn I got was the Caron Simply Soft. But I don't know if you can see it, but there's a shine to it because it's 100% acrylic. There's like a shine to it. I thought it was fun. I'm not using real wool. Ooh, hot glue. I just hot glued the ears, eyes, nose, and tail on. And then the other project that I'm doing, and I did this last night, super fun. I dyed Easter eggs with cabbage, red cabbage to be exact, or purple cabbage. I think they call it red, but it's really purple. And it was an experiment. In years past, my best friend of, 1989 we met in college. They're from Armenia, or their family is Armenian, and her mom taught me how to dye Easter eggs using yellow onion peel. In that case, what you do is you take yellow onion, you just have to collect a lot of onion peels, but you put it in a big pan and you just layer the eggs, wrap them up, make sure each has contact with the onion peel. You fill the water. I think I put a little vinegar in it, and you bring it to a boil, let it sit. And when they come out, they're like this beautiful burgundy. So pretty. Usually I do that, but this year I did not save onion peels, and there was no way I was going to have enough. My grocery store kind of keeps that bin super clean. Normally I could go in and plug, but that wasn't going to happen this year. So I decided red cabbage. So I tried the same concept, and it didn't quite work. And then I went online and read a couple of tutorials and found that I was kind of on the right path. But in reality, what you do is you chop up your cabbage, you boil it for about 30 minutes, and you get this purple water. And then you take it out, you add vinegar to it, and then soak your eggs. And however long you leave them in this acidulated water, in essence, determines the darkness of the color. So I left mine in overnight. I don't know if you're getting the right coloring here. It's purple, sort of, but it's really more of a blue. But it's like super pretty tonal yarn. I wish you could see it better, the tonalities of it. Let me see if I get on this side. It's kind of getting dry. Ooh, I'm getting a shadow for my overhead light now. Maybe it. Oops. Let's see. So this is hold please. Oh, I just dropped my egg. Cracked it. That's okay. So I did my eggs. I have a whole bowl of them. I did a dozen. Usually I do them a little sooner than this. You can see here where it's drying a little bit. I think what I'll do for Easter dinner is just rub a little olive oil on them. It keeps them looking moist, but it keeps the color also looking dark, which is what I like, the dark blue. This one here is like my personal favorite. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Ooh, let's see if I can get a better light on it. There we go. They're just beautiful eggs. We'll put the Easter bunny down in with the eggs. And that will go on my table. So pretty for Easter. Next year, if I'm have enough forethought, what I think I'll do is make up a bunch of dyes of different colors. I mean, you can do, what I'm going to try to do with the yellow egg peels, I guess, is what I'm going to do with the cabbage, is boil all the egg peels down and make a dye stock. I can actually freeze all the dye stocks throughout the year. Come Easter time, do a couple dozen eggs, and then I would get this rainbow of natural dyed eggs. Because you can do turmeric, blueberries, beets. I think you get like a light pink, the dark blue from the cabbage. I mean, so it's just, and it's all natural. Not that I have an issue with Paws Easter egg, because I use that too, but I have the patience to make this last a little longer, so why not? Why not make a table of beautiful colored eggs? Maybe I'll experiment throughout the year. Because I waited so long this year, I won't get to enjoy these as much, because tonight they get peeled and they will become pickled eggs for my lunch this week. I love pickled eggs. Speaking of, I spend way too much time on Pinterest, but because I'm in Ohio, deviled eggs are a big thing. I know they're regional around the country, but we make a lot of deviled eggs here. But what I saw was they took the eggs, peeled them, cut them in half, pulled out the yolk, and then pickled them. So you have this like purple pickled deviled egg. So pretty, so springy. I so want to try that. Maybe for my summer cookout or something, I'll do a pickled deviled egg. I don't know, it's really good. I think that's all of my side crafting that I've been doing. Possibly. Yeah, I think so. Today I made, for Easter dinner, we'll have a ham. I got a spiral cut, small, just my mom, my brother, and I today. And then I had Aldi. I'm not sure if you have an Aldi where you live, but I love Aldi. They sell a bag of Easter pasta, and it's just shaped chicks and bunnies and eggs and I don't even know what's in it, and it's tricolored, I think. So I made a little Easter pasta salad, turkey, and I used very little pasta, very much vegetables. That'll probably be mine. My family, I'm making them au gratin potatoes, and then I'm doing a baked cheddar broccoli. Steam the broccoli, making a homemade cheddar sauce, stir it all together, put a little breadcrumbs, throw it in the oven. For me, I love broccoli. I love vegetables. My pasta salad I loaded down with cucumbers and tomato and asparagus chopped up and cheese and a little bit of pasta with the balsamic. So hopefully it's good. I made it last night so it has time to kind of meld all the flavors together. So that is it for that. I have 2 finished objects today. Not 1, 2. And both of them have been on the needles for a super long time, and I made myself finish tonight. It's not even going to happen. So, and again, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen these. These are my Dr. Seuss socks, which totally could be 4th of July, Christmas, I don't care. They're my Dr. Seuss socks. And I obviously missed an end there. But this is made with yarn I dyed myself when I was trying to learn how to do self-striping yarn. I don't even know what I did there. I somehow got off kilter on this side, but it's okay. So this is the red and white striped. Is an 80-20 blend, and it does have 75-25. It is 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. And you can't, even in the white where I didn't dye, it's not really heavily stellinaed. I think the brand I purchased I don't love, so I may look at different options for some more sparkle. And then the toes is Deborah Norville Serenity. I just bought a undyed or a natural color and made this teal for the heels and toes. And I have more left, and I'll show you my works in progress. But so these are my socks, and I love them. Oh my god, I love them. They're so cute. Okay. Oh, and during this sock making process, I'm not sure if I shared with you, I learned how to rip out socks. On the first sock, I'm not sure what I was thinking, but I did my toe decrease way too soon. And I got up to here. I think I bound off like here. Or started the toes like way back here. I don't know what I was thinking. But I went online and I learned how to put in basically, I guess it's a lifeline after the fact. I just took a needle, a tapestry needle with some contrasting colored sock yarn, picked up the right stitch all the way around, and then I grabbed this teal and ripped it off and picked up the stitches and put on 3 more rows and then cast off. So, or started the decrease row. So these are my socks. Done. Operation sock drawer. Done. Now, my next project that I finished, finally, was the Drachenfels pattern by Melanie Berg. It's a paid-for pattern. Now, this is a kit on Craftsy. When I went to purchase the kit, they were out of stock. So I just bought the pattern, and I bought yarn. And I honestly have lost my tags, but I feel like I got that joy. But anyway, I don't know if you can see it. You can't see me, but that's okay. It's pretty big. It starts off over here with black and gray, and then it merges over to here with some red and gray. And this is going to be my Go Box shawl. Let me see if I can show you this detail. Oops, there's cat fur literally all over it. This has been on the needles for well over a year now. And I don't normally like to let things languish. So that detail was super fun. And then it just kind of goes into and it's a bias, I believe it's called a bias to shawl. And over here. And then on the bind off, now I haven't woven in my ends, I haven't blocked it, I haven't soaked it yet, but there's an I-cord, which I love. It took a little longer, of course, but it really is a nice detail. And then this little detail down here. Obviously, I'm not wearing it right now because it's going to be 70 something degrees today. But it is very generous in size. It's super pretty, and it'll be nice and warm during football games or next winter. So I need to add this. I'm getting quite the pile of my blocking and soaking wet meal, but I'll get to it. So this is, again, it's DRACHENFELS, which I believe is like a volcano or something in Germany, but I'm not sure. Pattern by Melanie Berg, and I don't know if the pattern is on Ravelry. It is, because I set up a project page, which I am so terrible with keeping up with, but this is it, and I loved it. A lot of the reviews I read said that the kit didn't come with enough yarn anyway, so I'm not really sad that sorry, my shirt's getting all bunched up, putting on clothing and taking it. So those are my 2 finished projects. That Drachenfels, I don't know what my problem was. It seriously was just knitting. I mean, it was just back and forth. There was no purling involved. Maybe on the accent rows there might have been a little bit, but I don't think so. I think it was all knitting and then an decrease. It was crazy. I don't know why it languished so long on the needles, but it felt so good to bind off that I poured yesterday. So maybe I'll block it today before my family gets here. We'll see. What else am I working on? Oh. So then I picked up a few more projects, and we'll cast on a couple more. What I am casting on is going to use the leftover yarn that I have and make a socket hat to match my socks. This will be the rim or the brim, the fold up portion, and then I would go into the stripes. Now, it actually should be stripy, but I don't think it'll be thin stripes. And then if I run out of this, I can just get maybe a black or a contrasting Deborah Norville. But this is a fair amount of yarn here. Maybe not so much on the brim, but I feel like I can get a decent size. I may not get a huge slouchy hat, but I will get a hat out of this yarn. But I will need to be careful where I start and stop, so I'll make sure I start and stop on a full row. My cat fur is everywhere. So I'm going to cast that on today, and this is in one of my bags that I made. Love it. I love this fabric. I've got other, I need to trim that. And then I have these socks that I had them on the needles. I had both socks down to this point, and I don't know what I did. I did something, I'm not even sure. I think that's heel is done. I did something terribly wrong, and I ended up ripping out the entire sock because I didn't know how to just rip back, and I guess I didn't even know it was a thing. I kind of just assumed you had to rip it all out. So it's gone, done. So I'm going to cast it on. So I really want to finish this pair. This is some yarn that I also dyed up last summer. But I bought a set of 9-inch circulars. So I'm going to see. I don't mind working with double points, but I wanted to try these. So I bought them when I was at Joanna. I had a huge coupon, and I bought the calendar last year, or at the end of the year, like the 10 off of 30. I think this month it's 15 off of 45 or something. Plus you can use your percentage off coupons per item. So I ended up picking these up. I only bought one set. You know, we'll see. If I like it, I'll go buy a second set. I don't really know how I would do the heel and the gusset in the round. I'm sure there's a way, I just don't know how to do it. So I guess what I would do is the cuff, go to my double points, possibly, or watch some videos. We'll see when I get there. I'm nowhere near there, so I'm not worried about it. But so I love these. These are super cute. And this is a really long cuff, so it'll be a while before I but I will start working on those as well. And then this project is kind of a lot of stuff in this bag. Practice project, getting ready. All right, let's be honest. I want my niece to have babies for me so I can play with them and knit for them. But we'll see. But her friend is having a baby right now. Or her friend's sister, I'm sorry, is having a baby right now. So I am knitting. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called the Polina dress by Tega Hilliard Designs. I'm not sure if you can see it. Oh, so cute. So cute. And the top is knit flat. And then you connect it. So there's no like sleeves. But there are sleeves. It's very bizarre to me. This is my first kind of one piece, but. And then there's a little button band on the back. So all this is knit flat until you get to connecting the button band. And then that creates your sleeves. And then you pick up, I think, 4 stitches under the arm. And then you start knitting the bodice. So I need to kind of pin this up so it stays cute. But I think this is the front. Although I feel like it's interchangeable. But this is the bodice. I am right now, I need to count. I think I just did all my pickup row. So I should have enough to start the chart. And I need to print the chart is really what I need to do. I did the rest just kind of looking at the pattern in Ravelry on my iPad, but when it gets to charting, I need the chart in my face. So, and then the bodice is just some lace, 8 inches. And I think if I do this again, which I probably will, because this is a practice, if you will. I mean, I didn't use good wool or even superwash wool because I don't know the young woman who's having the baby, and I don't, again, like to add extra work onto people. But I had purchased this a while ago. It's Sweet Delight Baby Bee. It's acrylic, so it's nice and washable. It's super soft, squishy. But when I make it for Sarah, she's a wool girl. She knits, so she understands, and I can do it out of some nice wool. But instead of, because these ends are just purled, what I might do, which I think would be kind of fun, is do a picot bind off on the arms and a picot bind off at the bottom. I think that would be really sweet. You know, I feel like for babies in this part of the country, this is a total summer dress. And it's a little bigger. I would say it's 3 to 6 months. So she'll have it come fall. But it's super sweet little dress. Super sweet. So that's how far I am on that. It's a very fast knit. This is DK weight-ish. So it just goes super fast. And those are my cast-ons. Now I'm looking for a pattern, a spring shawl pattern for a DK weight heavy fingering. I don't really know. I bought this yarn at Purl Soho. Let me grab it. Oh, it's way over there. Oh, here it is. Sorry. At Purl Soho when I was in New York. It doesn't really say on here what it is, which is kind of bizarre to me that it doesn't give you a weight. But looking on Ravelry, I believe it's a DK. So, and I'll have approximately 500 yards to work with. So I'm kind of looking for a summer shawl. And I was watching the Yarnings podcast with Christine. And she's making this biased shawl, which is sort of narrow but very long. And I'm wondering if that would work. Even though I have DK weight and not fingering, I could adjust it. But that would be nice for spring, early summer. Because I really want to wear this. So this is Mulberry Merino. And it is 80% extra fine merino, 20% silk. And it's so soft. And it smells. It's ballerina pink. and desert blue. And I almost thought about getting like a yellow to incorporate, but I don't know. 500 yards is a lot for a shawl and a DK weight, and it's super squishy. So we'll see. I'm going to look up that when I'm done podcasting here this morning and see what is what. What is it? How many yards? Could I adjust it? And I'll get back to you. But I really feel like that would be a fun, big project cast on. I mean, this sundress or baby dress I could pretty much have done in a couple of days. The socks are just something I keep with me at all times. Same with the sockhead hat. Once I'm done with the setup rows of the knit, the knit ribbing, I'm thinking, call me crazy, of doing a 1x1 ribbing on the sockhead hat instead of a 2x2. But we'll see. I don't know. All right, 37 minutes in. And one more thing. I bought these. Also a $1 bin at Target. I really might be obsessed with this $1 bin. But these are fun little Post-its. I love Post-it notes. Sorry for the crinkling. I love Post-it notes. So I use them fairly a lot at work and down here in my craft space, noting, keeping up, but different where am I at in a project. So this one says, "Hello, spring." I love spring. And this one is just a cute little pastel rainbow. They're nothing too fancy or thick, but those will be fun. All right, I think that is it. Happy Easter. Have a great week, and I won't wait 3 weeks next time. Maybe I'll be back next week now that my part-time job is slowed down. Bye. Happy knitting.